Go ahead,
Eric. So, I mean, again, the one thing that we really did want to talk about now that we've kind of exhausted the Jameson Williams conversation is the draft. So let's start near the top, at the top of the draft, where the Lions have the 6th overall pick. One of the most common names that have been brought up when it comes to the 6th round pick is Jalen Carter. He's obviously been the most polarizing person in this draft, and I think it's draft week, and I think I basically boiled down to this point when it comes to Jalen Carter. Do you believe he's still on the Lions board, and how likely is that he could be the pick at 6?
Well, look, if he's still on the board and he's available, then he's the pick, right? Because I think he's one of the best players in the draft. Is he still on their board is the question that I think we all want to know the answer to. I think you talk to a few beat writers and they're going to say he absolutely is not on the board. And then you talk to another couple and they're going to say, yeah, he's probably still in the mix. And so, but he might not be there, right? Like it's, you want to talk about guys that are being nitpicked. This is a guy who's under that same microscope who is, but it's not one team. It's an entire league worth of fan bases that are on this kid. And so we don't know like most of these stories, we know what's been delivered to us in the media, via the media. And initially, there was some false information that people believed as fact, and then it came out that maybe it wasn't as harsh as originally reported. And then maybe there were some other factors at play, and then he has his workout, but then you also have to kind of understand that his workout was right at the same time that his legal decisions were coming to a close. Maybe he wasn't mentally in the right area, and so there's all these things that are being nitpicked, and like with Jameson, it's a cumulative effect where it's just it's all adding together. And so what you're seeing is a lot of negativity, and coupled with that is a lot of negative reports continuing to come out about him in the media as well. The problem with those is that it's lying season. Some teams, some scouts are offering media correct information, and some scouts are being like, I'm going to throw all the dirt I know about this guy to you, right, in hopes that he falls to me, right? Because that's a common practice in the NFL. And so you're getting these collective bashing sessions, articles and reports on this kid, because that's the popular thing to do right now. And it's all negative. It's all negative.
I mean, that's a really good point, putting it that way, because it's so easy to find digital dirt on people. Like anything, it's everywhere. You get any PIs involved, right? There you go.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. At this point with Jalen Carter, we've gotten to the point, and I think it's been this way for a while, we're not even talking about football anymore. We're not talking about what he does well on the field and what he doesn't do well on the field. It's just legal issues, and it's they'll throw in the caveat, like you kind of said, but he's one of the best talents in the draft if you can get past the legal issues. Well, then let's talk about the talent for at least a little bit. Let's actually dive into that aspect of him as an NFL player.
I think what's unique about him from a talent perspective is that there's not a ton of questions about his talent. Every time that someone wants to criticize his talent, they go back to the fact of they try to make it a character thing. They say he doesn't have the work ethic because, look, he only played 60% of the snaps. Well, guess what? All Georgia defenders play 60% of the snaps because Georgia rolls 5 stars through that. Look at all their defenders from the year prior. Trayvon Walker went number 1. He only played 60%. That's because he was having to rotate. When you roll 5 stars, you have to play 5 stars or they transfer. Even these elite talents aren't playing massive amounts. They're playing, the Philly, the guy with the Philly, the nose tackle.
Jordan Davis.
Davis, thank you. He only played 40% of snaps. Well, yeah, part of it was because he was big, but part of it was because they just rolled these guys, right?
He also had to compete with Devontae Wyatt. Yeah, he also had to compete with Devontae Wyatt and Jalen Carter on that defense.
Yeah, when you have those 3 guys, they're not getting full starter reps. So, with all these Georgia guys, and you have to you have to look at Bama in a lot in the same way. And Ohio State has this in some aspects, but Georgia really is just so loaded right now that their studs even don't get a full complement of snaps. And so the nitpicking again, it all seems to be like, well, he doesn't play that many snaps, so his work ethic's bad. Well, maybe it's not. Okay, like this report says it is. A report from a year ago says it's not. And so
sure.
All the information that we're going to get on Carter is going to be information that comes from the team who drafted him, because all the information that is important is the information that is between him and the GM, right? And those two communications are really what matters. And if Brad Holmes is comfortable with what Jalen Carter is saying, then Carter is going to be on their board. I don't think it's going to be one of these. He's on the board with a little asterisks, and maybe he's either on or he's not.
Yeah, I'm right with you. Yeah, I'm right with you.
So if he's on, the talent is he's a top 2 player, right? The talent on the field says he's that. And so if he's on the board and he passes the character test, then and if he's there at 6, then they take him. And if he doesn't pass the character test, they won't gamble on talent if the character isn't there. And so then you could see him pass. I'm as in the dark on this as I think everybody, and I think that's exactly what Brad Holmes wants. He wants everybody to be in the dark on this. But he's such a unique player and prospect that we'll find out. But we'll find out after it's all over.